I'm very excited to be back with Barbary Duke. We are studying geospatial technology integration into English language arts. And in this lesson, she'll be discussing studying the writing process. Thanks, Barbary, and take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Anita. So welcome back, folks. So let's look at studying writing. And what I'd like to point out to you is this notion of telling better stories. So well integrated into English language arts and really into history and science and many other subject areas is this notion of telling the very best story. So maybe you tell a story with a painting. So in English, we talk more about writing these stories down. And so let's look about exploring spatial applications as we integrate that. So this isn't new information looking at the anatomy of a short story. Your introduction, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. But let's translate that notion into adding a little GIS and thinking. So if we introduce a problem, we use data to create a backstory, we present an issue with a map, we have possible solutions and do some analysis, and then we explain our conclusions and give justification. How similar are these two things? So this is very common practice in the GIS world if you were a GIS professional. And so we're giving kids, not only an interesting way to look at something, but also a really cool life skill. One way to do that are puzzles. I love puzzles with kids. The kids love the puzzles. So this is an old favorite. It's been around a long time. The left-handed chocolate caper. It's fun to implement around a candy holiday, Halloween, Valentine's Day, those sorts of things, or just any old time. They're quick. The map doesn't take long to analyze. So this here is the left-handed chocolate caper, and it's just a little mystery that includes some geographic clues along the way. So let me show you real quickly what that looks like. So I believe I have that over here, and you can see I've got lots of maps in here. Where did I hide it? There it is, the chocolate caper. All right. And if you wanted to use full GIS or if you wanted to use a virtual globe application, I have versions of this activity in both of those. But this will use just the online tool, which we are really enjoying now because of its capabilities. So some of those geographic clues are here. So it talks about boundaries, quakes, fault lines, and all of these are clues that are given in the writing. So you could have your students figure out the puzzle, but what might be more interesting is to give them some data and have them create their own puzzles. So here's what those look like and the links there. Another tool that I like using is having students picture vocabulary. Now, to picture vocabulary can sometimes be a challenging thing, but there's a great little tool called Sketch-A-Map. And although it is simple in nature, I honestly think kindergarten or first grade students could use this tool beautifully. I think it has some potential for some more powerful analysis. So in this tool, we have a choice of some base maps. So we're looking at a topo map at the moment, but you could change that to satellite imagery or something like that. I can draw things on the map. I can add some text on the map, and I've used this with students in having them say, okay, where is this vocabulary? What does desolation look like? So for some students, they zoom right into a desert location and go, oh, this place is really desolate, or maybe a little tiny island somewhere, oh, this is desolate. You'd be all by yourself. For other students, you know, that may be an urban location where they're feeling lonely. So some cool opportunities for students there. Another way to include this is say, what is the data story? So I've picked on something here, the Gulf oil spill. So in terms of the Gulf oil spill, you know, what are some of the issues that are related to that? Recreation is affected, jobs are affected, food sources coming from the ocean are affected. So we can have students not only create data represented things, but we can also have students look at other issues, and maybe they become reporters. The last thing I wanted to show you here in terms of writing is talking about caching into writing and this notion of the cache. Reasons to use GPS and geocaching. They can create their own journeys, build some vocabulary, maybe get out, explore nature, and create some spatial references to ideas. So I have detailed information about this in a blog post on my blog. This also is embedded as part of the map here. So caching into writing, and that's a link there to the blog post. We could look at the Gulf oil spill. You can see here I've created a link to, this is a Google picture, but basically provided by NASA. You can see the oil spill there as it started to unfold, and then these possibly infected areas. I also created an essay assignment to go with that, so there's a clickable opportunity for that. And then here is the chocolate caper. So I've created a link here also for you in terms of getting to the ARC lesson if you want to get to that in these different software packages. So that's it for writing today, and our next adventure will be looking at journeys.
Thank you, Barbary, and look forward to our fourth and final lesson.